taken long to see chances created on both sides of the field here, nor the first yellow card. So it really is an encouraging start to this match from both these sets of ladies. No. Not a bad set piece, but comfortable for the keeper to pick up. Onto Mutuana. Having no problems then in holding on to that ball at the first time of asking, that being the goalkeeper. Challenges flying in here as well, play continues. Continue to fly in for those challenges. Eventually the whistle does go, and this time the set piece will go for Lesotho in what looks like a good area. One has to wonder with the way things have started here. How many yellow cards we'll see by the end of this first 45 minutes with the way these ladies are flying into challenges. Oh, set piece is a goal! Oh, click, bang! An absolute beaut! Where is it? Oh, talk about class and quality. Power in that shot. And Rabali has put Lesotho into the lead. It's a game that's really promised a goal from the first few exchanges. One set piece just a couple of minutes ago on the other side, saved by the keeper. This one gives the keeper no chance. Well, maybe beaten by the curly or the touch of the flight to the ball. But there's also power behind that. Now, Eswatini looking for the quick response here. The shot that will go wide of the mark. Interesting start to this game here. Mkhale in your picture, and the teammates will have to pick themselves up. Like Eswatini, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, well, Lesotho have been involved in this COSAFA experience, if you will. Right from the get-go in the year 2002. And, well, once they've partaken in a good number of tournaments, what they haven't been able to do is get beyond the group stages. So both these nations, with all the years of participation, haven't gotten beyond the group stages. That's what they'll be looking to do. Keeper very nearly playing himself, or herself, I beg your pardon, into trouble then. Nice little touch, looking for the 1-2 on this near side. It's nicely done. Unfortunately, it had just rolled out of play. So if you are just joining us here inside the opening, 9 minutes, you've missed a stunning goal, a good number of attempts at goal, including a yellow card shown. And I'm talking number of attempts on both sides of the field. There's been a lot going on in this game in a very short space of time. So I suggest you stay with us. It shouldn't be long until something telling happens. And this could be the moment. The ball is a good one. The run is superb. The finish could have been better. Defensively, the communication had room for improvement as well. But Eswatini then with a real chance at finding an equalizer. Lovely pass then outside of the foot, curling into the run of the striker Dlamini then. Wondering if she could have taken one extra touch. Now, Eswatini. Well, they won't drop their shoulders by any stretch of the imagination just yet, one would imagine. The reason I say that is the start they've had to this match will be encouraging enough for them to believe maybe they will convert one of the many chances they could still create, looking at what they've done already in troubling the Lesotho defense. Only problem is Lesotho have given as good as they've gotten so far. Nice turn. Nicely done. And setting it up for the cross then with 3 inside the box. Lesotho will keep it alive, and the shot shouldn't cause problems, even with the bounce. In fact, the bounce causes serious problems until the near side official's flag goes up against Rabale. Goal scorer, of course, in your picture if you are just joining us. Ujumelo Rabale, way off then. Way offside. Easy call to make. The captain who plays for Mamelodi Sundowns ladies in South Africa, of course. Showing some quality here in the opening 12. There's a name that will get you respect wherever you go, whether it's in the men's game or the females game. The Mamelodi Sundowns brand is just doing great things on the continent right now. And from a men's point of view, over the last 10 or so years, but from a female point of view, just most recently where they've taken the local dominance and stretched it onto the continent. Well, in fact, traditionally, I need to be fair to Sundowns, they have been amongst the best sides in the country. Not just a case of over the last 10 years. Traditionally, they have been one of the major clubs in South Africa. Now they may argue they stand head and shoulders over the rest. There's an unforced error. Eswatini don't need in the game, especially not cheaply given away then. Okuchula Dlamini, the captain, with the error. Proved costly with Lesotho, looking to capitalize off of some great work and pace on the far side in the end defensively. Eswatini had the goods when they needed it from Tukamese. I need to be fair to Sundowns, they have been amongst the best sides in the country. Not just a case of over the last 10 years. It's a good ball, flag. Traditionally goes up in one of the major clubs in South Africa. Well, it's been interesting to note stand head and shoulders since the goal is, was scored. The threat that we witnessed from Eswatini over the opening exchanges in this match seems to have faded somewhat. Still Lesotho that are playing still the same amount of menace, I think it's safe to say, in their play. Not quite sure the levels are still there from Eswatini. Now, keeping it moving here. The Lesotho ladies returning. They are looking to play the ball out of the defensive areas and doing a good job of using the width of the field as Mutune goes down the line, then looking for the hard running Maloro, gets beyond one, cuts it back. Found teammates, Rabale, who had 1 or 2 just in front of her, making life as difficult as possible. Now, Eswatini again stitching together a few passes quite impressively on that occasion. We'll have to settle for the corner. Wow, defensive error that won't be punished at the first time of asking. Maybe another error will prove to be troublesome, but well, Lesotho are able to play it out from defense here. And good touches here from the captain and trying to hold it up, but the pressure is real here from Eswatini in their attempts to find an equalizer goal here. Good work defensively then by Leboka. Keep in mind, Leboka is a player that picked up a yellow card early in this game. Now, it's Lamini to find the teammate down the line then, and the ball played in causes no trouble. Patient with the passing game on the Soto. Very confident in it. Pulled in, finds a good run in the middle of the box. In the end, it needed just a bit more composure. That was good defensive work as well to ensure that Rabale couldn't necessarily pull the trigger. Now, that looks a good ball. Good hard running here. Solid run. Below the keeper was Maloro. Did exceptionally well then. Did Mbuli. Now, a good ball. What is interesting is that Lesotho only have 4 inside the box for this corner. Good hard running here. Solid running. And in the end, looking to squeeze it in just below the keeper was Maloro. Did exceptionally well then. Did the Eswatini team continues to struggle more and more in their efforts to find an equalizer and play into your pace for Maloro. To that, continuing to create moments of menace. What is interesting is Lesotho only have 4 inside the box for this corner. South Africa. Supported by Mrs. Zulu of Zambia out on the far side, and Pauline Nirina from Madagascar on the near side. Well, it's as the look of a little water break here, but I can assure you, not necessary with just how chilly Gqeberha has turned out to be since our arrival here. So many that have turned out here may have been surprised at how warm they've had to stay, especially in the clothes they've had to wear, even if they are just chilling at the hotels. Many of the guests are now used to seeing Team X, Y, or Z popping up at lunch or breakfast, or when they are leaving for a training session, as they do use different venues around the area for training as well. Keep in mind, the area very much involved in this year's COSAFA or Hollywood Bets. Well, from a goal scoring point of view, the game really seemed to come to life around the first 5 minutes. Looked as though both these sides would be creating goal scoring chances, but more fairness, since they did score, Lesotho have seemingly taken this game by the scruff of the neck and taken a bit of control out here. With the defensive play on this near side, Fakute for Eswatini. Plays football for Kappa ladies back home in Swaziland as Fakute. Those ladies getting stuck in the challenge then, as the set piece will follow here on this near side, and well, a chance to get some big bodies out there for Eswatini to pull one back as we approach the midway point of this first half. All in to straight at goal. Well, a few players out there already beginning to feel the effects of the physicality that come out of this game. Whilst they await a new ball out there, coach the hope is that ladies can get it together. Now, Lesotho looks so good as Peter plays out wide to this right side to Motuneng. When they look to use the width at times, they really do look impressive doing that. Good challenge, nothing wrong with it to win it back momentarily for Eswatini. We'll have to settle for the corner on this, or the throw-in, I beg your pardon, on this near side. It's once or twice yesterday, but this a great time, of course, for Southern African women's football, as again Maloro finds an angle to work within in eventually having the shot. If you're just joining us, the opening 10 minutes were 10 minutes of proper action between these two sides. Things have quietened down, especially since the goal scored. If one side is looking a shadow of themselves inside the latter stages of this half, it's Eswatini in a side now that's struggling to get that ball into that final third to a point where they can create clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. On how many occasions over the years have we seen those creep in just under the post and just over the goalkeeper for the embarrassing moments that comes at just the wrong time when the whole world is watching? Keep in mind this is championship, and the last stages at the end, the challenge that came through was a solid from the Eswatini centre back. I do believe it was Sikonze. We'll have to settle for the corner on this, or the throw in, I beg your pardon, on this near side. Now, a bit of time and space here for Motwining to keep the ball rolling here. May have touched on it once winning here with the number 2 jersey. A great time, of another one of those that play their club football in South African women's football as ladies. Nice turn then was the attack of the shirts. There wasn't much of an appeal. An angle to work with then in there. Eventually having the shot. In the end, and got for the corner. Well, Rabale looking close to creating a second. Us. The after having 10 minutes were 10 minutes of proper action between these two sides. They are creating on either side of the field here. Things have quietened down, especially since the goal scored. Needs to be strong. If one side and holding off they're looking a shadow of themselves inside the latter stages of the half is Eswatini in a side now that's struggling to get that ball into that final third to a point where they can create real opportunities. There's Rabale to this Eswatini side. On how many occasions over the years have we seen those first time of asking, although they didn't just under the post and just over the goalkeeper, really clear the danger, but embarrassing moments that with the case of time when the whole world is watching. A rush of blood to the head. too sure she was taking a shot or trying to play it back into the box. It's quick to offer apologies to teammates who may have been slightly disappointed with the outcome. Looking to this is day 2 of it together going forward here. This year's Hollywood Bets COSAFA Women's Championship, and the last day will be enjoying this wonderful venue for some time. For Lesotho, we'll be visiting different parts of the city to ensure the game is spread as far and wide as possible over the next week or so. On the far side, well spotted now. Return here for the final crescendo, if you will. There's a chance for a possible early ball here. Applause the little touch. From Sikonza, who conceded the corner. Sikonza plays tough football for young Buffaloes out in Eswatini. At the right place at occasions to really worry the defense from Eswatini. Keeper called for it, doesn't gather, saves the plus. Oh, bring this upfield, yeah, and they lose it in the dangerous area. How about it? Gets a corner. Well, they are working extremely hard to keep Rabale in check. Tlongonyani with the touch into Tashlin. A good spell this for the Lesotho ladies. A few corners now they've had against Eswatini. They've kept them on the back foot. Also created some nervousness in that defense. Ball played in. Keeper's in trouble. All sorts of trouble. And who else but Rabale to head home from point blank range. And Lesotho are 2 up. Well, she has been the biggest threat from a goal scoring point of view. Not only has she scored 1 threat, and well, Rabale to once again get the business done. The Mamelodi Sundowns ladies player with a header from point blank range. Yeah, needed her touch to go over the goal line. Gets there ahead of the 2 defenders. Keeper is having a serious problem. The Lesotho, I think, have picked it up and are finding ways to capitalize on that through these corners. Keeper was a bit of no man's land then, so applause the little touch from Sikonza, who conceded the corner. Sikonza plays tough football for young Buffaloes out in Eswatini. Ball in, not cleared, and in the end, they blocked the shot coming in from Rabale again, who seems to be at the right place at the right time then. On enough occasions to really worry the defense from Eswatini. Keeper called for it, doesn't gather. defense saves the blushes in the end. So Eswatini will look to bring this upfield here, and they lose it in a dangerous area. Rabale gets a corner. Well, they are working extremely hard to keep Rabale in check. Songonyani with the touch into touch then. A good spell this for the Lesotho ladies. A few corners now they've had against Eswatini. They've kept them on the back foot. Also created some nervousness in that defense. Ball played in. Keeper's in trouble. All sorts of trouble. And who else but Rabale to head home from point blank range. And Lesotho are 2 up. Well, she has been the biggest threat from a goal scoring point of view. Not only has she scored one stunning goal, but she's continued to be a threat. And, well, Rabale to once again get the business done. The Mamelodi Sundowns ladies player with a header from point blank range. Yeah. Needed her touch to go over the goal line. Gets there ahead of the 2 defenders. Keeper is having a serious problem at judging the flight of the ball from these corners. So the Lesotho, I think, have picked it up and are finding ways to capitalize on that through these corners. Eswatini now needs some sort of comeback to lift their spirits before the end of this first half. Challenges flying in. Still Eswatini pushing forward here, looking to find a yard for the shot. It's well wide of the mark in the end then. To their credit, they haven't given up and are looking for a quick response in finding an equalizer. Mkhale with the shot that's gone wide on that occasion. It's for Royal Leopards out in Swaziland as Mkhale is, well, Lesotho push forward. Yeah, that's lovely work, and the pass is superb. Is it a hat-trick? In fact, it's not to be for Rabale, but she still remains a threat. It was beautiful work in the creation of that opportunity for her. Even before the pass was played through, it was stunning. Just the footwork in finding the space to release that ball was rather impressive. Here's Rabale. It looked like too much, but in the end, she was being fouled. They are struggling to deal with it. Kamete, the latest to find out just how tough it is to deal with the Mamelodi Sundowns player. Now, you remember, the opening goal was from this sort of range. It was Rabale with a smashing strike that gave the keeper no chance. Will it be Rabale again, or will it be Belia wearing the number 20 jersey? It's Belia! Oh, keeper. Okay, but looked a step or two forward and then started to backtrack, but would have been relieved to see that flying over the bar. Well, Eswatini are struggling to find some sort of rhythm in their play here. Nice little back heel here as Lesotho again. So They are a side with plenty of creativity. The challenge. Now, counter-attack could be on here if the right pass is found. And as I say, that's exactly what was lacking in the play that followed from Eswatini. Ball down the line here. Needed better control, however, from Maloro. Happy to just clear that. The defender. Now, fall in towards that far post, and well, they found the teammates who I don't believed it would reach up. There certainly was quality in the ball played in them from Maloro towards that far post. As we approach the last 5 minutes of this first half, Lesotho very much in control here, with their captain Rabale having an outstanding first half. Yeah, there was a little challenge that was late from Bilea, who was quick to offer apologies to the referee then. Well, keep in mind there are certain interesting factors to take into consideration in as far as this year's tournament is concerned. One most important one, and one that affects the field of play, is the fact that coaches can make up to 5 changes to the team, meaning they can really tactically change things around here. So with things as they are, there will be a change made here in this first half by Eswatini, which will come as no surprise with the way things are looking as though they are capitulating for them. Looking nothing like the side that started the opening 10 minutes. In fact, the further the game goes, the less like that side they look. Fakute with the throw. Well, that just sums up the half, I think, for Eswatini. Doing a bit to try and keep teammates' spirits up. Is Ogutula Damini, the captain. Still a lot of football to be played here. So, into the last 5 minutes here. The Lesotho fans will be hoping maybe there'll be one more before the halftime break. Whilst Eswatini fans will be hoping their side, more than anything, just keeps things nice and tight defensively. The big worry has been the corners for them. And, well, the keeper and had judgment of the flight of the ball. But one of the 2 goals that has come in, having come in from a corner. So there is the change that will be. They won't drop their shoulders by any stretch of the imagination just yet, one would imagine. The reason I say that is the start they've had to this match will be encouraging enough for them to believe maybe they will convert one of the many chances they could still create, looking at what they've done already in troubling the Lesotho defense. Only problem is Lesotho have given as good as they've gotten so far. Nice turn Nicely done. And setting it up for the cross then with 3 inside the box. Soto will keep it alive, and the shot shouldn't cause problems, even with the bounce. In fact, the bounce causes some serious problems until the near side official's flag goes up against Rabale. Goal scorer, of course, in your picture if you are just joining. Keeper does well. Again, I think unintentionally, Mukhale stepped on the way to picking up the ball and trying to finish it off at the second time of asking. I'll tell you what, watching this Lesotho side before this game got underway, the way they came out of the change room and started their warm up and continued some of the drills they were doing, just warming up, told you there was something a little special about the side. I can't quite describe it. You have to have seen it yourself, but
is a tradition that man, or indeed a human being, is born in. Naturally, we are born with Ubuntu. We live with it. We come into this world with that.
Ubuntu ninshira iyo abantu basenderamo ifyo umuntu afwiri okuba n'efyo afwiri okukita n'efyo afwiri okwikaliramu Ubuntu.
Ubuntu chitemiko, Ubuntu mutende.
Ubuntu nikukhala pamozi. Ubuntu nikusamala. Ubuntu nikukondana.
The desire to contribute to positive changes within rural communities is my strong motivation to work hard for my society. For me, that is Ubuntu.
Ubuntu means humbleness. Ubuntu means humility. Ubuntu means love.
Ubuntu is I'm a person because of a person. I'm really a person. I'm who I am because of who we are.
What Ubuntu means to me is the ability to look at the need of others and be able to put yourself in their position, be able to do something about it.
We're going to be offering some of our viewers more content. And apart from more content, we are going to expect our viewers to be participating more, and then we want also our viewers to also like our channel.
Yes, and they should like it on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and also on YouTube. And not to forget that our content is reliable. It's not fake news. We do not have fake news on this channel.
Of infertility is because of infections, typically the chlamydia and the gonorrhea.
Your time is up. Thank you so much.
Okay. Since have been mentioned, I can react to what comment in the chat.
Yes. I haven't finished my point.
Remember,
no, I haven't finished my point so that my brother can.
Does the Patriotic Front know the kind of damage they have done to our economy and to our country? I do not.
The alleged abduction of Pamela Chisupa, and this case has really kept us on our toes. And in as much as
nobody has been acquitted from this new dawn administration cases that have been started, there's nobody that has been acquitted. Okay.
CJ, foreplay. I'm not talking about jump and begin acting like a kangaroo. No, foreplay. Many of us as Africans, we lack this virtue. This is not there.
Yeah, the time project ku Malabo was the first game toilet was in. I think what it's underrated because even the home up, you can see the way they are doing home up. But munagati ora na wawina kale nyoko.
It's actually good if you start creating competition in the team. If you don't create competition, then you will have a problem. Who to replace when one is injured?
I think the names people have been calling me, I accepted them and I welcomed them. But what I would prefer being called as a nickname, I would prefer being called Sambalung.
Well, I did mention the change in the goalkeeping department. With Neil Zamini coming in to replace Mbuli. Eswatini team and how they all line up on the halfway line before they march, literally march down the line into the change room. Something I'd never seen before. That we saw from Eswatini. Yes, that rolls kindly. For now, after come back here to the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium for the final crescendo for Eswatini. There are other venues that are being used as training venues. Keep in mind the West. Well, Eswatini again will be happy here with the start to this second half over the last 7 minutes, where they've spent a fair bit of time in the opposition half of the field. Similar in the first 10 minutes of the first half. And then things began to tilt in favor of the Lesotho ladies. Tell you what, the young lady between the sticks for Lesotho is Montwana. Really has a lot to say to her teammates. Then, even when the ball is far from her and the teammates are just dealing with it, she's constantly having words with them just to let them know what's going on around them or what she thinks they should do with the ball. So she's an important part of that defense. Is Motswana. The more work coming her way, along with her teammates here. Eswatini really looking to put the pressure on here in the second half. The deflected cross-come shot is easy for Motswana to deal with. Looking Motswana. By the coach in this match. The keeper was beaten. Just hit the outside of the post then. Who had that opportunity is an inter-ladies player out in Swaziland. There are a few to play for inter-ladies. In fact, a good number of players play for that club as they keep the pressure on here. And for Lesotho, I think the alarm bell should be ringing now as we approach the hour. He gets the feeling it's a matter of time until Eswatini possibly create a moment that may turn the momentum of this game completely around. Maloro. Into the middle of the park here. They've done well, the two ladies. Maloro! The right foot. The run from Maloro this time is it's been a game of two halves so far. If you are just joining us here, in the seconds leading up to the 1 hour mark, we are finding Lesotho being asked some serious questions here by Eswatini, who've made changes to their starting 11 that have proved quite telling. Shouldn't be too serious. She should be able to continue with the game then winning. Yep, a little unfortunate. Let's push the wick back just a little bit. A young lady who really has covered a lot of ground with hard running style. Should be back on the field. Mentioned earlier, she is among. Well, there are a few fans that have turned out here that will look to make sure they remember the moments. Nice to see some fans have turned out on that far side. Afternoon kickoff, which was the case yesterday after many of the youngsters in the area that gotten out of school. Good pace and skill and a lovely pass here, but it's just run away from Rabalenians. Well read by the keeper as well. The timing in leaving the line was top notch. Calm from Mokhotu. Winning the number 5 in the pack. Extremely calm from Mokhotu. Leboka amongst those involved here on this near side as well. So, do believe the Lesotho coach has seen enough here, and he is bringing the changes that may very well be necessary here with the way things have been going in recent times. It's looked as though this game may very well run away from them. So, Hotu will make way. Tabelin Botani with Makabani making way. Also, Masiriti Mosolo. So the other change that's been made by Lesotho. Made way. No. Lesotho again. To get back to those moments in the first half where they were really creating chances. Then the early chance, then and the first shot or first chance of the game or involvement in the game, I should say, for Botani. Good movement on the near side. Well, for Lesotho, they really are struggling to find any sort of that rhythm they had in the two-goal cushion. They were able to establish, but again, the tactical addition to this year's tournament in being able to make the 5 changes really is telling. I think in this match more than any other, we've seen evidence of it as well in the other matches, don't get me wrong, but the ability to be able to make 5 changes really can turn things around. It certainly has for Eswatini in this match. At the very least here, we'll look to keep things solid defensively. Well, Lesotho, what they put in the first half, to feed off any positives they get on the front foot, if they are to get any chances to stretch that lead. The Hollywood Bets COSAFA Women's Championship has looked to uplift the community as much as possible in this time here in Tabeja, with plenty of COSAFA off-pitch legacy events in the Nelson Mandela Bay area. See licensed coaching course, a referees course, a media officer training course, and fast footy, where will be a day of fast footy for young local players on September 10th, featuring 8 teams, each with 16 players. So we really have looked to reach out to the community here as we hope this injury is not too serious here. Clash of heads was always nasty. And Nokusula Ndlovu is the lady down and struggling in a understandable bits of pain. Amongst those that have come in off the bench is Nokusula Ndlovu. The Interladies player will be stretched off here. They'll take as much precaution as possible, keep in mind, showing that they take care in assisting off the field. But slowly they arrive. They enjoying the moment. Well, a good number seem to have turned out to enjoy the moment here. The numbers, I am pretty sure, will increase as the day does move on. But like I mentioned, we will be moving on to the Madiba Stadium tomorrow for a couple of days. Oh, you can only hope here that Noguthula Ndlovu is deemed fit and able to continue in the very near future. As we look back at the goals here, and smashing goals they were. It is Rabale with the curler with power that gave the keeper no chance. And Rabale again here, taking advantage of the keeper's total misjudgment of the flight of the ball. And knotted in at point blank range. Interesting how they have been able to keep it quiet in this second half here. Chances aren't coming as thick as fast. There were points in that first half where and Maloro were really causing problems with just their movement alone in that Eswatini defense. Problems identified and dealt with. And for the time being, we'll be hoping Noguthula Ndlovu is okay and able to join this team soon. That's one of the young ladies that's come in as a substitute. It'll throw a bit of a launch in the coach Smepi Mamba's plans. Oh, keeper. Unorthodox, I think, is a safe way to describe a bit of goalkeeping then. Keep in mind, there are a couple of other teams in this group that will be in action later on in the day. Zambia and Namibia. They've had an interesting history facing each other in recent times, so that's a game to look forward to. Zambia, of course, with a proud showing out at the WAFCON as well. That's needed a bit of control then, and Lesotho may have been onto something, but still have the ball here inside the final third. Not much options inside the box, indeed be said. Offside. Far side official from Madagascar, Pauline Raswanirina. So, first change here for Eswatini. We'll see Undiwe Mazia coming on for the injured Noguthula Ndlovu. After the clash of heads, saw Ndlovu unable to continue with the game. It's got skill to get beyond the first defender. In the end, the second did maybe enough in taking the power out of the cross. Maloro. Again, not much to aim for inside the box. They do have players lurking outside of it. That's a good ball in behind that defense. Now, can they finish it off with a good killer ball? The answer is no. The defense from Eswatini does enough. They had enough numbers back to deal with the danger. There was a beautiful ball to open them up. Better from Lesotho in this half. Rabale again. They really do move the ball around impressively with Peter here on the ball, constantly looking to just keep it moving amongst the teammates. Then there have been a later challenge on Pelia, who's gone down then, but back up on her feet, looking as though it's not much to worry about. That's good skill. And then run into a brick wall defensively here on this near side. And they aren't afraid to get stuck in both sets of ladies here. In the end, it's a foul on Mutsuening. Quick to offer apologies to Mutsuening was Makhale. Peter. Leboga. Looking down the line then for the movement of Pelia. Pelia with the ball in then. Keeper with the beautiful judgment of the ball then. Now, great son here, always looking to get on the move, is Maloro. Happy to have won the corner, thanks to the defensive efforts of Sitlongonyane. Again, it's interesting how changes have seen momentum switch this way and that. End of the first half, the changes made by Eswatini saw the match switch in their favor. Didn't take too long until Lesotho maybe picked it up and made changes of their own. And since then, the game seems to have swung back in their favor. Yes, they may not be creating chances like it's going out of fashion, but when it comes to just general play, they're looking the side that's enjoying themselves a bit better over the last 10 minutes, especially since those changes made. Tuning is really impressive from a Lesotho point of view, weighing the number 2. Peter. Pelea. Something I touched on in the first half that was only crossing my mind now because I'm only hearing it now again, but the Lesotho goalkeeper does a stunning job of communicating with the teammates, even with the ball far and on the other side of the field. She's always just speaking to the team, shouting out instructions. Words of support and encouragement. Just shouted to them, Haralwaning, which means let's fight. A moment to go. Now, there could be a chance here. If the pass is proper, in fact, the pass is a little too strong, then asking too much of Maloro. Who gave up on the chase as soon as she turned and realized how quickly the ball was pulling away from her. Now, Eswatini still looking to pull one back here with enough time to look for an equalizer. Error in from Eswatini in the middle of the park that could see some trouble begin with the movement on this near side from Liboka. Well, in the end, the foul from Malinga brings Liboka's run to a screeching halt. Samkelisiwe Malinga will pick up a yellow card here for that challenge. One of the inter-ladies players out in Swaziland. Well, Rabali this time with the dead ball. May very well be looking for a teammate. Oko, ambitious attempt. Well, the first goal was a stunner. But that attempt alone shows that maybe her self-belief, or levels in her self-belief. Ilya. Lesotho as they push forward through Liboka. Now, flag is up then. At the end of that first half, we did see the strange sight of the Eswatini team and how they all line up on the halfway line before they march, literally march down the line into the change room. Something I'd never seen before. To mention that these teams do have ways of either coming out to warm up or moments like that we saw from Eswatini that really do stand out and make you raise an eyebrow. She's enjoyed her game today. The young lady wearing the number 6 jersey. Now, pace out to the far side. Losing out in middle of the park. Work defensively. That's a stunning challenge. Nice and clean. Now, good turn. The pace as well. Oh, the shots! Zakon just wide. There's the moment for Eswatini. And once again, it's Ntani who creates the moment here. The individual brilliance. She's done it on a few occasions with that pace and the ability to turn opponents. No question as to whether there was a foul or not. Could be problems here. Could be serious problems. Malinga's already on a yellow card, which is she's pleading a case along with the captain. An unnecessary foul to give away then on Lewoka. Ball in. Numbers towards that far post. Could be a chance though. Shots. And room for improvement. I have to applaud the Eswatini coach with the decision to make the goalkeeping change. But for now, here is Maloro. Oh! On count. Offside. Oh, she's worked so hard. On what feels she is deserving of a goal then. Taking it well as well in the way she placed it into the back of the net beyond the keeper. Oh, Lesotho caught some offside occasions on 6 occasions. Keep in mind, Eswatini haven't been caught offside in this game. Always had her mind on just pulling the trigger. I think it's safe to say then, Lewoka didn't have much else in the way of options. Again, Lesotho looking very much in control of play here. So they look to get in behind that defense. They get to the byline, and unfortunate to see Lewoka get her feet tangled up as she was preparing to play it back across with the hope of finding a third goal. But still, after the changes made, Lesotho looked a better side. Well, there are just about 2.5 minutes remaining in this encounter as Peter looks to Rabale, who felt maybe a decision should go away then for what could have been an ill-timed challenge. Peter again, looking this time to Pelea. Nice footwork from Bilia. Twinning. That's a good ball. Lovely ball in, and Livoka piles onto it and gets beyond the defender. Livoka it is still with the cutback, and the hat trick finally arrives then for Rabale. Well, at third goal has been coming since the changes were made. Little addition. The tournament organizers has certainly made things interesting for those with a keen eye on the game. Lovely pass this. That's what gets it all started, and it's really finding the hard-running style of Livoka, gets beyond the defender, unselfish, and still needed to keep a composure in bringing it all home then to the Rabale. Captain's performance today. Grabs the mesh ball. At the end of the day, great start for Lesotho in the bid to join nations that have such a good start to the tournament. They make a statement.